Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm so happy you're here. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Yanni and I'm doing this all about Christmas channel. Of course, I will keep it short. On this channel, you will find lots and lots of seasonal decor DIYs and of course daily decor DIYs. Do you like what you see and you like this content? Of course, I hope you will click the red subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. It would help my channel a lot to grow, so I hope you will. And if you want to see more DIYs, come on over to my description box. There you find all the links for our DIY channels. Go check it out. And for now, let's jump into our DIY. For today's DIY, we are going to use, of course, our tumbling tile blocks, a ruler, some brushes, some scissors, some paint at your choice. But of course, I will use the white and the black and maybe a little bit of the sand color. I don't know yet. Of course, you can use your glue gun, but most of the time I always use my wood glue. But go ahead, do whatever you think is right. The only thing with wood glue, your project stays better intact. So you can, it's up to you. But with a glue gun, my experience is everything is falling apart most of the time. So if you want to do it fast, then I would recommend the glue gun. But if you want to have it a little bit longer in your home, then I would use the wood glue. And what we're going to make, we are going to make the easiest you can think of Christmas calendar. So we will see how this will turn out. So the first thing what we're going to do, we are going to make our calendar blocks, because we are going to use them for turning around the times and the days. So what we're going to do, we're going to make 7 of 3 blocks. So very easy, just get your glue and do on the side on this 2 pieces, because you close it up with number 3, and this is already a 1. Place it apart, and we're going to do this 7 times. And of course I try to do it as fast as I can, because then you don't have to wait that long. But of course I always love to show you how I make it. So again, number 2. And of course, I made also a calendar already on my other channel on Deco Easy. So if you want to see that one too, go ahead and check out the channel. You will find the description, of course, always down below, of at least the link for the video in down below. Not the, and there you will find the link, of course, for our channels. So thinking and saying it in English is always a thing, and especially because it's Monday. So, and again, this number 4, and you see already the difference in blocks. One is bigger already than the other one. So if you have the same problem, don't worry. I think everyone has the same problem. And again, number 5. And later you still can work with it. So don't worry, just make it together and then you can still readjust it. And this is number 6. And now we only need a number 7. And this will be already the last for block number 1. And this is the second one. And the blocks we close it up with is a number 3. Squeeze it and press it down. And like this. And what I'm going to do, it's very easy. I'm going to do some glue over here. Be careful, because it is still is not glued to each other. Do a little glue. Try to get it up your table. Place it on top. We're going to do the other one. Of course, some glue, and take all the blocks with some glue. And again, place it up here. We're going to do this one, and again you see already he's coming out of each other, but it doesn't matter because we make 1 block. And again we do it on this side, and we place it again up here, and the last one, because the other one will be a closer up again, and again place it up, and we're going to place this up here, and we're going to place it down and like this, and we squeeze it, press it, and we're going to let this dry at least for a half hour. And I'm going to make the second one, but I'm going to do it a little bit faster. So we placed our 2 blocks beside. This way we're going to place them over here. What we're going to do, I'm going to get 4 blocks. And again in this side, of course, we're going to do this side with some glue. And we're going to do this side with some glue. And a number 3. And we're going to row them together again like one line. Very easy. Just go, and of course I always have my wet old towel over here, and I'm going to wipe away a little bit of the glue we don't need, because or else it will be one big mess on my table, and it normally is already. So most of the time I always do everything under it, but I'm trying to get it as neat as you can so you can see it a little bit better. And number 3 again, and we're closing it up again like this. Squeeze it and press it down like this, and don't squeeze too hard, because I also heard already that when you squeeze it sometimes the blocks are jumping around, but try to squeeze not too hard. And the last of 4, because this will be the back side of the little box we are going to make. This will be a base of the box, because on the top of the box we will going to make our own a little snowman, and I think it will be 2 snowmans if I am correctly. So I'm going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes, and then we're going to glue it together. So now we are a couple of minutes further, and I'm going to do this side with some glue. Very easy, and do it carefully because your glue is still not totally dried up. If the project is totally finished, I recommend just let it dry for at least 24 hours before you're really going to use it. And you see the blocks here also are not totally the right size, but we are going to work with it. So this is already the back side of our base of our box. We are going to get 3 blocks, and we're going to row them together. Very easy. And this one, and we already have 1. Place it over here, and this is already, and we're going to make 3 of this one. And of course you still can see, if you don't understand my English, you still can see what I'm doing. That's always the greatest about doing this DIY. You always can see what I'm doing if you don't understand what I'm saying. And most of the time, sometimes I don't even know what I'm saying, so don't worry about it. Here it's always one big mess. And this one. And I'm going to place it up. And this is already in number 3. And this will be also one side, and I'm going to get another one of 3. So we're going to go under it. We go further, and I told you this is already one big mess. And this is number 2, and I'm going to place it up with number 3, and again we're going to place it over here so we have everything glued on our table. And I don't know if you can also get this kind of mats, because you can use an easy place mat. So I don't know what I have today. You see already everything is falling out of my hands, and this is number 2 of the first of 3, and the last one. And then we almost have our box. We only need the sides. And closing it up with number 3 again. And I'm going to let this dry in also for a couple of minutes. So this did dry in for a couple of minutes. I'm going to take it on the side, and I'm going to do some glue, and I'm going to do some glue over here. And the greatest thing about the wood glue, you still can readjust it a little bit. Especially because you have blocks which are not the same measurement always. So that's always very nice, because I think you can see it. You see already this block is also not on the same size. So I will work with it, and we will see how this will work in my project, because this is really a lot of blocks which are not totally the right size. And of course, if you don't like openings or maybe little spaces in between, just get some spackle and just close it up. I don't mind it because I think it gives more a little bit of an old rustic look, and it doesn't have to be perfect. But if you want to have it perfect in your home, maybe you want to spray paint it gold, if you like more like a glam style, then I understand if you want to give it some spackle or some wood filler and just fill it up. But I most of the time don't, so don't worry about me. If you like it better, just go ahead. This is just an inspiration. And I'm going to let this dry in also a couple of minutes, and then we're going to do only the sides of our box. And you see our pieces are drying right now. And now we're going to go to make the sides. So I'm going to get 3 blocks on the side like this. And 1 and number 2 we're going to do in the glue, and we're going to squeeze them together like this. And we're going to do the other side. It's also very easy on the wider side, and this one, and we're closing it up. Closing it up with number 3. I don't know what it is today, but it is really Monday. Everything is falling down and it's working against me, so bear with me. At the end, we hope we have a really nice calendar for the Christmas season. And maybe this calendar is also very nice to place on your nightstand for your children. So you can use it for any purpose. So again, I'm going to let this dry also, and then we're going to build the box together. And here you see all the pieces we need. We need the 3 blocks of 4, the 3 blocks of 3, and here again also a side and the side panel. So I did lay the bigger one in the middle. I'm going to glue very easy the small one. I'm going to glue on this side. I'm going to do the underside and this side, and I'm going to place it over here, little almost in the middle, because you can readjust it in a moment. I'm going to do on this side the same, just on this side. I'm going to do it on the underside and on this. Oh, you see already on this side. You see, you are you are really seeing how much things I'm going to let fall down this DIY. It's really, I have no idea what I'm doing. It's real one big mess. So don't do it the way I do it. Just do it your own way. And now I'm going to do on this block only the underside. And I'm going to do on this one the same. Over here. And now we're going to place it together. We're going to build this one on top of here. Over here. And we're going to do this one on top of here. And this way. And now we're just going to work with it so we get a nice straight line. And everything will fit together. And that's, like I said earlier, this is the great thing about wood glue. You still can readjust it on your own purpose. And I see already what I totally forgot. So don't make the mistake like I did. Make 1 of 3 again, because I totally forgot the middle piece. And you make 1 block and another one. Place it down like this. And we're going to squeeze it, press it down. And of course this one also needs some glue on each side. I don't know how I can forget it, but you can still do it better than I do, because you can still adjust before you're going to glue it. And like this. And we need this in between, so we need a little bit of glue on this side, and be careful because it's totally not dried in, and we have to place it in here. So we're going to do this one a little bit outside, and we're going to place it in the middle over here, and going to squeeze it together, and we're going to let this dry in. You see already he is drying on this moment, but in the middle you see already some glue sticking out. I'm going to get a little pencil, and I'm going to get my wet piece of kitchen towel. I'm just going to wipe away a little bit what is too much of the glue, because if you paint it later, then it's not a nice side to see. So just go over it and work away the glue you don't need, just in the corners, like this, and work it away. So you see, I'm sorry that it was a little bit of confusion for the middle piece. So you need 2 pieces for the side of 3, but you also need this one for the side. So I totally forgot it, and I glued it this way, but you can also glue it on the other way. So you have the 3 pieces over here, but I had to do it quickly because I was totally in panic that I totally forgot the middle piece. So if it is dried up, I show it you a little bit better on camera. You see our little box is drying, and of course you see some pieces are not only the straight line because the blocks are not the same size, I told you earlier, but we are going to work with it, and later on you won't see it anymore. So this is drying also right now. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make the snowman for on top, but I already glued my 4 pieces and my footage is already gone. I don't know what happened, but I did visit, I don't know where it went, but it is vanished. So you make 2 pieces of 4 blocks, very easy, like this, and then you're going to glue them together. Very easy, just this way. So 4 blocks of 4, and just place them together like this, squeeze it and press it down. And make sure that you have a straight line, and let this dry in for a couple of minutes. In the meantime, while our 2 blocks of 4 are drying, I'm going to take 2 blocks, but I'm going to do the top with a little bit of glue. And I'm going to squeeze them together like this. This is already one, and we're going to make a second one because he will be at the bottom of the snowman, a little stand. And again on the top. And place the other block against this and squeeze it and press it down. And we're going to let this dry in also for a couple of minutes. You see our parts are drying, our parts of our snowman, and of course our box. And we still have our blocks. What I'm going to do, because the blocks are, if you are looking at our box and you want to do it in here, you see it's fitting and not fitting because the measurements are exactly the same. So what we're going to do, don't forget to get your sander and just sand off a little piece of this side where you have the couple of blocks all together like this. So not this side, but the top, like this side. And I'm going to get my sander out, and I'm going to sand I think a millimeter, maybe 2 millimeters, a little bit off the line, and then he is perfectly fitting inside of here. So I'm going to do this outside. So don't forget it, that you don't think it's not fitting. It doesn't work. I also have this one with my drawers. I made on my other channel on Deco Easy. I made a couple of dressers and also with some drawers. And a couple of people thought the drawers are not fitting. It is correctly, because also with the drawers you have to turn them over and go to the bottom and send off a little piece of your blocks, because it's the same measurement like one block. So then one time it will fit, other time won't. And if you want to have it fitting better, just go get your sander. Maybe your hand sand paper is also fine, but you have to get a little layer of your blocks to get it fitting inside of here. It's not a lot, but a little. So I'm going to go outside and I'm going to sand off a piece. So my blocks are a little piece off with my sanding, and of course be careful that you keep a nice straight line in your sanding, because or else you get wobbly things like I have a little bit. So be careful how you sand it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to paint it, everything. I'm going to paint this one in my sand color, but you can do any color you like. I'm going to make this one white, make this one white, and make this one black. And of course I make the blocks also in the black color, and I'm going to do some white numbers on top of here, but choose any color you like. I'm using for the black, I'm using my schoolboard paint because I like the matte finish of my schoolboard paint. But like I said, choose anything. Maybe you like to spray paint it, it's also fine to do whatever you think it's right. You need, with schoolboard paint, you need a little bit of your time, because it's when it dries in, it keeps popping up little pieces which you don't paint it yet. So take your time for it and make it a very nice black block. So I'm going to do this one, and like I said, one of the 2 blocks. So I did this bead, like I said, in the black. I did half of the blocks because then I can turn it around and keep it in my hands, or else I'm totally under the under the paint. And I'm going to use for this box, I'm going to use the sand color, and you can buy this anywhere you like. Of course, I'm going to fill it in just inside of my box because the whole box will be in this color. So I will paint this, and then you will see how it's turned out. And for the last pieces I use white. Of course, you see already I did also the box halfway, of a little bit more like halfway, so it can dry, and then I go do the other side. For this one I'm going to use the last of the 2 blocks of 2, and I'm going to paint this in the white color, and I'm going to paint this in the white color, but not totally, because this one the top needs to be black for his head. So now I'm going to do this one white, and like I said, I'm going to do this one, I think over here, and I make a line until where it can be white. I think I like a little bit like this, so I make one line with my marker. And now I know exactly how far I can go. Of course, I can do the white a little bit higher because this one will be over it. So I can go a little bit higher with the white. You see, I have the snowman's body almost in the white, and I did also the back side in the white color, and of course a little bit sideways. What I'm going to do first, I'm going to take my black piece, and you see already I didn't do the back side because I have to glue it on top of here, and I'm going to make a line with my wood glue, and then I can paint a little bit further. Of course, I have to be careful where I want to have my, like this. I'm going to place it, I think, where I want to have it, like here, and I'm just going to give it a little squeeze until here, and I'm going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes before I'm going to go further with painting. You see already on the table are the parts. We have our box, our 2 blocks, our stand for under it, and of course our snowman. But I was a little bit puzzling it together, and I don't like this white one. So I'm going to paint this one in the black color. So do whatever you think it's right, but I'm going to do it in the black color because I like the coloring which is coming back. So I'm going to do this one in the black, and I also do now the back side because I'm going to glue it on this side, and then I'm going to glue my snowman on top of here. So I'm going to do a little bit different than I told you. So that's the great thing about DIY, and you can do anything you like. So I'm going to color it up again in the black color. So I'm just going over it and make it black. So it takes a little moment, but you don't notice it because I will do it a little bit fast forward. So my little piece of 2 blocks is drying. In the meantime, I'm going to go to my computer and I'm going to make a print, which I can do on top of here. And this is how my simple print turned out. Of course, I know you see it backwards. Don't worry, that's just my telephone. I just did Christmas countdown and Christmas countdown calendar. So you can choose whatever you like. Of course, you will find this one in the free printable. So if you want to use it, go ahead. Of course, I will cut this one out and I'm going to Mod Podge it on top of here. And again, a little change of plans. I would do my Christmas countdown on top of the underside over here on the black piece. But I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to glue it, or maybe Mod Podge it on top of the head of our snowman, because I think it's a little bit more different than you normally have. So I'm going to take my Mod Podge and Mod Podge it on top of here. So now our snowman is almost ready. Of course, we have to give it a little decoration on top. But first what I'm going to do some wood glue on the ending. And I'm going to glue it in the middle of the two blocks with the black. So I'm going to do again on the top, and I'm going to do some glue over here. And I'm going to try to get with my top of my thing a little bit scratching over it, so it gets a little bit more over the whole piece. And you see, this is a block of 4, so you can exactly do the middle and this way, and just squeeze it and press it together and let this dry for a couple of minutes. And then we're going to do a little bit of greenery and some berries on here. See, I placed you a little bit closer and a little bit more on my snowman. What I do, I always have a kind of bag with this kind of little carrots. I ordered them online on AliExpress and they are so cheap. So I always have a bag laying around. I did pull out the green piece, and I'm going to get my knife and I'm going to cut off a little of the top of my carrot. So very easy, just go very lightly over it, and I'm going to place it over here. Of course, what I'm going to do first, before I'm going to do that, I'm going to take my bag with some googly eyes, and I'm going to get out 2 of the round eyes. And of course, if you are a great drawer, just go ahead, take your pencil and draw beautiful eyes. I am not a great drawer, so I have to do it with my googly eyes and my sticker on the back side. So I keeping myself easy so I don't mess it up. I'm going to place 1 on this side, and I'm going to place 1 on the other side, because exactly 2 blocks is the middle. It's very easy to glue them on here because this is a sticker, so it's always very easy to work with. I'm going to place them right next to each other, and of course I want to have them on the same height like this. And I'm going to press them down a little. I'm going to place them up, and I'm going to show you this way. And now I'm going to get my carrot, and I'm going to do some glue on the back side, and I'm going to glue it over here. I'm using for this also wood glue. You don't have to do that. You can use your glue gun, but most of the time I'm always a little bit afraid with a glue gun that you can see the glue on the back side. So I just do a little tip on here, and I'm going to place it in the middle of his eyes, just like that, and keep it in place for a couple of minutes. But you don't have to wait for that. So my nose is not totally dry. He has his time. What I'm going to do on the top, I get some greenery, just a greenery leaf. And I'm going to get off 2 of the smaller pieces. I have to look for, this is also a smaller one. So I'm going to lay it aside. I'm going to see already, if you place it over here, see this on the top is a piece of plastic. I don't like that. So I always cut a little ending of the back side off, just like this, a little piece. And I'm going to do on this side the same. Of course I have to go in over here, and I'm going to place both of them over here. So I'm just going to get some glue, and I'm going to glue it together. So just do a little bit of glue on the back side like this, and just lay it a little sideways over here. And we're going to get this one also only a little glue on the ending of the tip. So maybe you can see it a little bit better. You don't have to use a lot of glue, and just place it over here and squeeze it and press it down until here. And what we're going to do, I have a little piece of a garland with some berries. So I'm going to cut off, I think 2 or 3 berries like this. This is already 1. I'm going to cut out number 2 and number 3, and like this. And I'm going to glue them in the middle of our 2 pieces of greenery. I'm just going to glue 1 over here and press it down and keep it in place until it is dried up. We're going to do the other one. And this is a little bit too much glue, so I wipe it away. Do a little dot over here, And I'm going to place it over here and keep it in place. Of course, it takes a little bit more of your time, but... And now number 3. Also again, some glue. And I'm going to place this one against the other 3. And now we get a nice bundle of 3. I press everything down until it is dried up. And this is how he is looking like. And I think he looks already very cute. Of course, now I still need a mouth. I don't know if I will do that because I am so bad in drawing pieces. So maybe I'm going to ask my daughter. I don't know. You will see. But for now, I'm going to glue this one on top of our box. So I did get my ruler and my pencil. I thought I have to do... I have to make a mouth because I have to do it myself, because I did get my ruler. I did 1 dot over here, 1 over here, and 1 in the middle, a little bit lower, so I can get this is really amateur drawing a mouth. So I'm going to go for this over here, and I'm going to go over here because now I can't go wrong, and I'm going to go over it in a moment with my black marker. But I so envy always of jealous of people who can draw so beautiful, because I'm so wish I could do it. Of course, I'm going to do a little over here and 1 over here and this one over here. So bear with me. I hope it will look look okay if I get my black marker and go over it. So I'm going to go in a line like this. I'm sorry if I don't talk because I am already happy that I get drawing this line. And I'm going to go over this one and over this one like this. Now for me he is more than more than okay. So I hope you give it also a try if you're just like me and you also are not great in this. So just make 2 dots over here, 1 dot in the middle, a little bit lower, and just work your way against it, and this is what you get. What we're going to do, and now I'm going to glue it on my box. And here is my box, and I'm going to glue my snowman on top of here, and I'm going to do it in the middle. I'm going to show it to you this way, like this. So, and then he can dry, because wood glue, it always needs time to dry. So I'm going to turn it over like this. I hope I can see it to you on camera. And I'm going to go over it. And I'm doing some wood glue over here. And I'm going to place it in the middle. Of course, I have to look where for me is the middle, of course. And this way. And I'm going to place it down. And I keep it in place for a couple of seconds. And of course, you can, you see, for you it's only a couple of eye blinks. So the little box is drying, and now we only need some numbers on top of our dice, at least, dice, not totally a dice, but at least our square blocks. And I'm going to do some numbers, and I'm going to do it with some marker, because, and then I'm going to later go over it with some white pencil, with some white chalk paint. But first I'm going to use it for this one to try to make the numbers I need, because you need 25 days on one of these. So on one block at least has to be 1 0 and a 1 and a 2. So at least these 3 already has to be on one of the blocks, and on these blocks you only need the other days until 9. You see, this is what I did. I would should go over it with some pencil and then with some paint, but I found my gold colored marker, and I am loving the gold color on top of here. So do whatever you think is right. If you like white or maybe red or something else, and maybe you can also do some wooden numbers on top of here, so you don't even have to write it. I am going to choose for this one. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get some fills, of course, against scratching on my table. So I'm going to do on the underside of my box, I'm going to do 1 filled, and I'm going to cut it in 4. So I only need little pieces, and I always cut it when the paper is still on the sticker, because then it's better to cut it. So I have 4 little pieces for each corner, 1. And then in a moment you see the end reveal. And here you see already a quick impression of our Tumbling tile blocks Christmas countdown calendar, and I'm so happy how it turned out. And you saw already how easy was this one to make. Of course, I hope you took out your Tumbling tile blocks too and did this DIY already together with me. And if you only love to watch, of course, I hope you had fun watching. If you're not subscribed to my channel and you like what you see, of course, I hope you will click the red subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. It would help my channel a lot to grow and it doesn't cost you anything. And for now, of course, if you want to see more DIYs, come on over to my description box. There you find all the link for our DIY channels. So go check it out. Hope to see you there. And for everyone here, have an amazing day and see you next time. Bye.